go Mo's brain stream and tone.
Look it up so it gets to your name. You heard me?
So it's Tone Drone, right?
I wrote it down. Mimi, look. But, Mimi, look.
Welcome. We're here again this evening. I'm Coach Tato Jones. I have my two co-hosts with me.
Hey, I'm Tanera. Hi, I'm Kalia Janique.
And we're back again. We're here at Mo's Seafood Restaurant, one of our sponsors. We have Tone Drone and Brainstream Media doing a great job. Ladies, what do we want to start at this evening? What y'all want to start with?
Let's see. Well, how was everybody's Thanksgiving break?
Oof. Delicious.
Tell us about the pork butt.
Oh yeah, last time I told you guys that I was gonna be making a pernil. It's a Puerto Rican pork butt roast. It was really good. Everybody loved it.
All right.
It was
We had
very
some
juicy.
arroz
It was
con
very tasty.
gandules.
All right. How was the family? Was it a family gathering? How did it go?
Oh, yeah, there was like 20-something people at my house.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
It was
That's
a lot of
awesome.
us.
I would say I had a lot of fun playing some games. We played Uno. We had some karaoke going. So it's good to have that time with the family. Have some games, some singing, good food.
That's important. Two of my college kids came home, so that was awesome. We played Uno, and Uno got a little different.
Real competitive.
A little competitive, and these different rules that these kids come up with. And
Yep.
I swear every time we play, it's a new rule.
It's always a new rule. Do you guys play for money?
No.
Oh.
No, we haven't gotten to that point yet. We have not gotten to that point yet. We just play for fun, and we got some spades. We got some spades going.
I was going to ask
Oh
you
yeah.
that too.
That was very interesting.
We love spades. Not everybody can play though.
That is true. We had some learners this time. My wife had to learn how to play, and my daughter, she goes to Syracuse, so spades is not prevalent in that school. So we had to teach her some things so as she goes back, she can keep our family name going
Right.
in a good way.
Oh,
in a good way. So
What
tell me
about
your
chess? You know how to play chess?
I do play chess.
That's my game right there.
I do play chess, a game of the mind.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, I love it because the strategy.
Yeah.
I started playing on my phone first so I can learn how
Yep.
to play.
Oh, that's smart.
Because you can't cheat. I mean, yeah, okay, yeah. So that's good for me. So let's talk about our meal. What was your favorite dish this Thanksgiving?
Let's see, what was my favorite? The pernil was delicious.
Thank
The rice
you.
and arroz con condules was delicious. Did I say that right?
Say it one more time. Make sure people
Arroz.
got it.
Arroz con gandules.
Arroz con gandules. You see, I pronounce it real good, right? Did that sound good, y'all? Yeah.
Ah, well, okay.
I know un poquito.
And I made coquito.
Oh,
Was that the drink?
so good.
That was the drink.
That
It
was
was
the topic,
so
Papa?
good. And so many of my friends and family members came to pick up a bottle, so that was good.
Okay. Well,
What was your favorite?
Mine was it never changes. My mac and cheese was that's always a hit. I get my mac and cheese and yams, and I can go on and on and on with those.
Right.
You throw your turkey in there, you throw your ham in there, but as long as I got my mac and cheese and my yams, I am good to go.
I will say my sister made some real juicy turkey. It was juicy.
Okay. Good. Shout out to your sis.
She's here in the building tonight.
Oh, good
so
job,
shout out
sis.
to
Good
her.
job, sis, on the turkey. Okay. So, let's talk about y'all week. Anything interesting since the last time we came on here?
Let's see. I did a little shopping.
We spent too much money. That's what we tend to do.
That's
I feel like
kind-
I do good. Like I'll go a certain amount of days without spending any, and then just drop a bag in one day, in 1 hour.
I think
Gotta
that's
work on
that's a woman's trait, downfall / a lot of different things. I think most husbands out there would agree to that. I got a couple husbands in the audience that all of them perked up when I said
You
that.
don't feel that.
I don't feel that I'm single, so
That's all.
No.
Well,
do it on my own.
I understand. What? It was Cyber Monday just passed. Anybody utilize Cyber Monday?
I was going to, but I went online, added stuff to my cart. I was like, nope, leave it. Chill. I left it.
No Cyber Monday.
But Monday's not over yet.
No.
It's not over yet. I still got time.
So y'all still got time. Y'all still got time. I know one thing. What do y'all? Black Friday is not the same Black Friday as it once was.
I don't think so.
So I look back a few years ago, and I know we used to be up in the line at midnight.
Like 5 o'clock, or even earlier than 5
It
o'clock
all
in the
depends
morning.
what we was going for.
Oh, wow.
It was all one of the big ticket items was always a TV. So I remember going and we had a game plan.
Yes.
I might be at this store, my brother be at this store, my mother be at that store,
Split
my
up.
wife
All
be
mapped
Yeah,
out.
we had it mapped out
And
because.
then call each other, be like, yo, how much is it over there?
Or one thing, it depends, because this place might have the TV, the video games always wanted to be,
Right.
always the video game console, so you had to get
Shoes.
that, the shoe. There's a lot of different things. So that's Black Friday. I mean, I didn't see a whole bunch of people out. I didn't go
A lot
out.
of crime too, so I'm glad that there were not a lot of people out.
Yeah.
True.
People get a little crazy out there on Black Friday. That's why I personally never did it. I just wait till Cyber Monday. So today was my day.
Oh, so the day was your
Shop
day.
online.
Yeah, the day was your
Yeah.
day. I mean, even the news, after like Black Friday, you would see the news, and you would see people
Yeah.
rushing the door. And I seen something on the internet that was pretty funny to me. It was one guy that opened the door and one person walked in for Black Friday.
Oh my God,
Oh, that's
that's
real
crazy.
different.
Yeah, I laughed because coming from what it used to be, I
Right.
mean, it used to be
Times are
mobs and mobs
changing.
and mobs,
Yeah.
We gotta make sure we shout out our other co-host who's not here, Big Sad. Big Sad, we know
Shout
you're
out,
watching.
Jess.
We wish you well today.
And Sad will definitely be back with us next week. He's healing in the healing process of some things, and we talked to him today. I think he'll be calling in. I think he'll be calling in sometime at some point. So we definitely get his ear and see where he is.
Okay. Sounds good.
Hey, and this evening, let's talk about our guest this evening. We have first we have Coach Dwayne Green. He's from Coach Mental Health. He has a mental health practice, him and his wife, and he's going to come on and talk some things about mental health and sports. One of his topics is going to be when the ball stops bouncing. And what that means is a lot of people suffer from when you've been an athlete for all these years, and then once it's over, what do you do next? If you watch different things of how athletes end up doing, like getting into crime or drugs or things like that, being an athlete is a high.
Yeah.
Right.
And when you no longer have that sport to fill it, sometimes people find the wrong thing. So we're going to talk about that. I think that's something that not talked about a lot. And the other guest one of my favorite people, Coach Obie Barnes, the Forest Park great, the living legend is in the house tonight. I cannot wait to get up here and talk about, who he is and what he's done for this city and this sport, and we're just excited,
Yes,
So
very.
we're gonna be right back with y'all. We here at Moe's Seafood Restaurant, live. Come on out, get some of this good food, these good drinks, and the phone number is 240-681-9328. Call in. We'll be back with you soon.
Our mission focuses on showcasing local and global talent of all ages on and off the field. We will strive to inspire, educate, and bridge the divides through our media collaboration. Our goal is to give student athletes and coaches the platform to let their talents be seen and a platform for the community to let their voices be heard. This is the Union Media Group. Our mission focuses on showcasing local and global talent of all ages on and off the field. We will strive to inspire, educate, and bridge the divide through our media collaboration. Our goal is to give student athletes and coaches the platform to let their talents be seen and a platform for the community to let their voices be heard. This is the Union Media Group.
Is it, do we have him? Say it, can you hear us?
Loud and clear.
There you go.
Clear.
Welcome. Said, how you feeling? How you feeling today?
Good, man. Surgery this morning and, just a little tired. But other than that, man, I feel pretty good, man. I'm sorry I just missed 2 weeks of the new show, man. It looks exciting. I think you got legendary Coach Obie Barnes on.
Yeah, he really coming. He here. He in the building. He's in the building.
Man. That's big, man. I wanted to see him because I ain't seen him in a long time. So,
Got you. Hey, well, we know you're feeling good at it this weekend. Tell us what happened exciting for you this weekend. Say, go ahead, put it out there. Put it out there.
Put it out there?
Put it out there.
The Wolverines beat suck eyes this week. We got the dub. I'm a big Michigan Wolverines fan. And, we got the win, man. I used to be a Cowboys fan. I used to be a Dallas Cowboys fan.
How you do that?
And what happened was when they got rid of Jimmy, it broke my heart, man. It broke my heart.
It broke the tech.
So I said, let me go to college football, man. And my mentor, Coach D.D. Thomas, he said, man, what you think about Michigan? I'm like, Michigan? This back in '94. I've been a diehard, man. '94.
Man.
Yeah.
Hey man, listen man, we miss you, man. We miss you, and we can't wait for you back on this set with us so we can really get this thing going. Cause like I say, we growing, but we can't grow without the fourth head here. We got to have you in the house. So let's go, man. Hey,
I'm gonna be back.
Hey, we see you next Monday, the following Monday. We can't wait to have you in the building, my brother. You got anything? Go ahead. You got anything to say before you go?
What about the pork butt, man? I just want to know, is that pretty good?
The pork butt. The pork butt is a hot topic on the show. The pork.
What?
Hey, they said a pork butt. Hey, maybe next show they gonna have to make the pork butt and bring it on so we can see what the pork butt about.
Yeah.
We're gonna work.
And
we're gonna work on that.
The African man named Oregano that makes collard greens. His name was Oregano.
Yeah, we got you, man.
Oh, my bad. She put the oregano in there.
All right, man. So, hey, say we see you in 2 weeks, my brother. Keep yourself together, man. We love you, bro.
I love y'all too, man. See you in 2 weeks.
Yes, sir.
We miss you.
How about y'all? Miss y'all.
Hey, now we have on the set, on the stage. Not only, I'm gonna tell you this. First of all, I'm cheating because this is my best friend right here. It's my guy. That's my guy, man. But outside of who he was as a player, who he was as a coach, he does some other great things, and in his mental health world, And the topic, first of all, let's start. Coach Dwayne Green, you guys say a few words before we get started, man.
All right, y'all. I'm Dwayne Green, founder, CEO, Coach Mental Health. I got my handler here, my beautiful wife. We've, over the past few years, expanded our program to incorporate a innovative, creative couples counseling and therapy program called Date Night with Coach that incorporates couples therapy, couples groups, couples retreat, as well as relationship podcast. You can catch that on all social medias at Date Night with Coach.
All right. Hey, so
relationship podcast. You can catch that on all social medias at Date Night with Coach.
All right. Hey, so
relationship podcast. You can catch that. At our sport or even in some other arenas in terms of anything entertainment, we look at these careers as the end as opposed to the means. So with that in mind, I would look at it like this. When you have young athletes, you have young people that are gifted in any area, it's important that you nurture and develop them in every area. Because essentially having the idea or having the mindset that it's either or, where you say, okay, if I don't make it to the league, then I'm going to do this. What that says is that plan B, so to speak, is in essence failure. Instead of it being a either or, it should be a both and.
Yes.
So while I'm enjoying myself, while I'm having a great time playing this sport that I love and I'm great at it and somebody's going to give me a scholarship or give me an opportunity to play it at a higher level, while I'm doing this, I'm going to nurture something else that I love. I'm going to nurture something else that I'm great at. Because once this is over, and even while I'm actively doing it, I can be setting myself up for a career, for a life, for something once it's over.
That's true. That's true. Like, you see a lot of young people who getting themselves in a lot of trouble, you know, because like I say, you look at some of these high-level basketball players, and then they go down the road. It might be crime, it might be drugs, and everybody like, why would they do that? They had everything. Yeah, they had everything, but when you don't have that next, I remember us going through the process. A lot of people, we went through the process together. After we finished playing in college, we had the same agent. We were on our grind to get to that next level. But we always had that next step. You know, we were in education, we were in, we talked about coaching. We always talked about coaching. So we had that next step. I mean, you go back to my high school yearbook, it says future goal coach. And I knew this in high school. So I knew that once my ball stopped bouncing, I knew where I was going next. But a lot of people don't, and as coaches, and we still we gotta put this into our young people, that there is a next step. You gotta be prepared. You gotta have this, whatever it is, whether it's business, whether it's real estate, whether it's coaching, whether it's whatever it is, we gotta be prepared. You know, what are your thoughts? You got what you want?
I look at it from a perspective of, you know, we talk about in the mental health field, we talk about nature versus nurture, right? Mm-hmm. And so I look at it from the perspective of, part of this process is innate. Part of it is what is in the person individually, right? Mm-hmm. As a kid, you know, we sometimes aspire, we have dreams, and even as we go through adversities throughout this life, you know, some of us are more resilient than others, right? And some of us can have the wherewithal to set goals beyond just what's in front of us, right? So that personal piece that's within you, I think that plays a part. But then you also have the family. Mm-hmm. Essentially, at this point in time, what I see a lot is we're talking about what happens when the ball stops bouncing, right? But essentially, what happens before the ball starts bouncing, right? So you have families who take little babies who are impressionable, who haven't even developed yet, and we put them in a box that the league is the only way.
Only way. Yep.
Right? And so all I'm nurturing is your ability to throw this pass. What if this kid is good at the violin? What if this kid has a abstract mind where he can go out and do something in the world, in literary world? But we don't give him a chance because we put him in a box.
That's true.
And so when they grow up in that vein and they grow up in that lane, at the point in time where that stops, what is my purpose? Why am I here?
Sometimes you gotta, and when you're growing young people, stop always putting your goals on them. You know, as children, allow them to find their path. You know, and then you can push them. Like you can push an athlete and an artist. You can push a ballet dancer and a volleyball player. It don't have to be just one. But a lot of times when we close down and narrow this street, we think that, well, we just giving them no option because we're going to push them to greatness. Nah, you might be pushing them to somebody else's greatness. It might not be their greatness.
And that I use a word that my wife won't laugh at this. We've just talked about this over the past couple of weeks. That word projection. We oftentimes project what we might have missed, what we may have failed at, or what we may aspire to on our next generation.
That's true.
Right? And so when we do that, we don't give them the opportunity to figure it out for themselves. Just a sidebar, right? Personal story. I've been a parent of small kids in my teens going into my 20s, again in my 20s into my 30s, and then in my 30s now into my 40s.
Right.
This 7-year-old I got, he can make dresses, he can play football, he can wrestle, he can sing, he can count, he can read. So whatever it is this little guy decides to do, that's what he's gonna do.
That's
All
important.
avenues.
You know, and as a 45-year-old, I'm at a place where I recognize and I understand the life that I've lived and what I have learned as a parent, as an individual, to allow this kid to develop into who he's gonna be is the best for him. I just want him to be whole.
That's it.
At the end of the day. Whether the ball never bounces, I want him to be whole.
That's important. That's important. You let them find his path.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and we got to stop always putting out. And one thing I'm gonna say, we get better as we go from child to child to child. Let's be honest about that. You know, sometimes our children are trial and error. You know, but we learn, you grow, and that's what we gotta do in life. You gotta learn, you gotta grow. As a coach, as a mentor, as a professional, and whatever you're in, you gotta learn, you gotta grow. And that's so important. And we gotta continue to do this for our youth and on. Like, let's give some closing thoughts about what do you think that we could put in place that can kind of help this generation that has to deal with at some point when the ball does stop.
And what advice would you give the young children, you know?
Well, I believe that it's a holistic process. So again, we talk about nature versus nurture. First of all, as we always talked about as coaches, you get to know your kids, right? So from the family standpoint, we learn our kids. I got 6 of them. All of them are different, right? You got to deal with them different. So you learn them. You learn to know what makes them tick. You learn to know what their gifts are, what their skills are, and you try to nurture every part of them. Not just one part. And so in doing that, you teach them resiliency, right? And so as you teach them resiliency, when they get to a place where that dream that they had didn't work out, there's something else that they're already working on. Because they got to be able to look, and I think for me, looking in that mirror and being able to say, you know what, I can say this is why, that is why, but to be able to look in that mirror and say, you know what, you weren't good enough, and be okay with it.
Be okay with it.
To tell myself, look, you just weren't good enough, and that's fine, right? So the reality is to not, as people say, not to put all your eggs in one basket, so to speak, not make it a either or, but make it a both and. You want to nurture any and every skill and gift that you may have so that as you move throughout life, you know, you can maximize every opportunity that's available to you and not just lock yourself into one thing. Because if that doesn't work for you, you have to be able to navigate and you have to be able to pick up the pieces.
Hey, well said. Very, very well said. Well said. I mean, Coach Dwayne Green, we thank you for coming on the show. We
I appreciate y'all for having me.
You know, I mean, your insight. I'm hoping that some people will grasp some of this. Like if somebody wanted to talk to you about different things, how can they get in contact with you?
So anybody that's interested in any mental health support services, you can reach us at info@coachmentalhealth.com. Couples that are interested in couple services can reach us at datenight@coachmentalhealth.com.
Hey, so hey,
I'm sorry. And we're on all the socials: Facebook, Date Night with Coach; Instagram, Date Night with Coach; TikTok, and we have a YouTube channel, Date Night with Coach.
Hey.
And what population do you target? Like children, young adults, like everyone
So
overall?
the foundation, if you see the acronym, COACH stands for Counseling, Outreach, Advocacy, Change, and Hope. As a coach, that kind of was a natural and an easy thing for me to start the program with. But my wife and I actually, in navigating life, we realized that the foundation is the family. Mm-hmm. And so we work with all ages. But over the past few years, I think my niche, and we really hung our hats with couples and families as the foundation of the work with building a community. So.
Sounds good.
Hey, well, we'll be right back with you. We're here at Moe's Seafood. Still got time to come on out. Shout out to our sponsors once again, Brainstrain Media, Tone Drones, and we'll be back with you soon.
Our mission focuses on showcasing local and global talent of all ages on and off the field. We will strive to inspire, educate, and bridge the divide through our media collaboration. Our goal is to give student athletes and coaches the platform to let their talents be seen and a platform for the community to let their voices be heard. This is the Union Media Group. Our mission focuses on showcasing local and global talent of all ages on and off the field. We will strive to inspire, educate, and bridge the divide through our media collaboration. Our goal is to give student athletes and coaches the platform to let their talents be seen and a platform for the community to let their voices be heard. This is the Union Media Group.
Welcome back, welcome back. We hear this next segment. I'm sitting here excited, delighted to be sitting next to a living legend, Coach Obie Barnes. Coach Barnes, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Hey, listen, I get butterflies still because this man I watched him across the field as a player. You know, I got an opportunity when I started coaching to be across the field, you know, and then become a head coach. And let me be clear, I'm going to say this before he say it. He is the only legend that I did not beat. I did not beat Coach Barnes before he retired, and he has that. So, congratulations on that.
I retired at the right time.
So, hey, Coach, first let's start to talk about Forest Park. Let's talk about, you know, Coach Julio and what the program is. They got all the way to the semifinals last week, and I watched them along the way, and I'm very impressed. Tell me what your thoughts are about the Forest Park program, your program.
Okay. First of all, I think that Coach Julio, his real name is Sean Markley, and I think he's done a tremendous job this year with the youngsters, with the program, with helping the kids on and off the field. My wife Atitha and my son Chris over here, we attended every home game that we could and support them. My wife is a Forest Park grad also. And Chris is a Forest Park wannabe.
He went to the right school.
He went to Dunbar.
He went to the right school. He made a good decision.
Graduated from Dunbar, but he's a Forest Park wannabe. But Jermaine Dunn, the athletic director, and the entire staff Julio has, Maurice, Troy, Rock, all of those guys, they're doing a tremendous job with these young men. And like I said, it's not just on the field; it's off the field also.
Which is important.
You know,
that's important. That's when it happens. I mean, coming from playing against them this year, I like what they do.
Yes.
You know what I mean? As a team, as a program, you can see it's a program. It's not just a team. They're not just out there trying to win the game. They about building young men. You know? And I had an opportunity to interview them after their regional championship game.
Okay.
You know, and some of these young men spoke so well. You know, and I was highly impressed on the content and how they spoke. You know, and that's important. That's very, very important.
It is. They get into these kids' personal lives and help them where they're needed. And a good thing, Julio and his staff, they know when to back off. They know when to, they put enough pressure on the young men. And now it's their turn. Take what you've learned and you deal with it.
That's it.
You take it to the next level. We've given you the advice that we needed to give you. Now it's your turn.
And that's one thing about coaching. One thing I've learned from the great ones, and you're one of the great ones, is you got to tear these young men down, but try to build them right back up.
Exactly.
The worst thing you can do to a young man is to tear, not a young man, a young person, is to tear him down and then leave him.
And leave him there.
And I see it too many times.
Yes.
I see it too many times, but we have the power to break them down because it's just like a muscle when you're working out. People don't know when you bench pressing, you tear your muscles down and it's building back up stronger.
It back up.
But we got to do that building part, you know. So, Coach, I mean, tell me about the game of coaching back when in your day when you had the Coach Pete Pompeys and the Coach Augie Wild, the Coach Roger Renz, the Coach Eatons, and the Coach Stan. Tell me how it was back then.
Years ago when we coached, it was bring your team and the best man win. The coaches got along. We loved each other. Of course, we loved our kids because we spent so much time with them. We're their father away from home. But as coaches, we loved each other. And we learned from each other. And when we met on game day, it was always best man win. And after that, we're friends. We shake hands and we move on to the next game.
I experienced that. I mean, I watch when you and Coach Pete played against each other. Yes. I watch the work that went in that week. Like there's certain weeks that Coach Pete turned up to another level.
Oh, yeah.
Forest Park week, Patterson week, they were different weeks, you know. And I watched it, and y'all battle, and when the game was over, win, lose, or draw, you see the real brotherhood come. And I think that's one of the things that is missing this day and age. Because I've been on Coach Pete's sideline. I've never heard him say a negative word about an opponent he was about to play against.
Exactly.
Never.
Exactly.
He may say, "Oh, they're not strong against this," and it was always about the sport. You know what I mean? It was never about the person, so it was never demeaning.
Yes.
Y'all coached out of love.
We did.
You know, and that's important. I seen that's why your kids can be around my kids or Coach Pete kids, and it would still be love. You know, and one of the things I talked to you earlier about, is coaching the All-Star games. When we got no Forest Park kids, we knew what they were. I knew what they was coming with.
Right.
And they was excited, and we enjoyed it. So, Coach, let's talk a little bit about what we got coming up here. We have Forest Park. You know, we ended last week in semifinals. Shout out to Forest Park. Shout out to City College, who went a long way. Played another great game. I'm gonna touch on the Milford and Prairie Hall. They're outside the city, but they're right here. You know,
still family.
Still great program. And did a great job. But we have two in the area going on. We have Mervo looking for that second state championship, and Coach Nixon, man, great. What do you think about Mervo program and where they've come?
Mervo has always had a tough program. They big enrollment, 4A school. And they've been fortunate enough to have great coaches at Mervo over the years. And I'm talking, I'm going back 30, 40 years. And if they had great coaches. But they have a wonderful program. I like what they do with the kids, and I wish them all the luck in the world in state finals.
It's funny. I remember Coach Pete told me one time, pound for pound, Mervo has the most talent here. And this is like early 2000s. I'm like, Coach, you serious? He was like pound for pound. And coaching the All-Star games, I witnessed that. I mean, it was they always had talent.
Yeah.
You know?
1978 team at Forest Park. We were 9-0.
Okay.
Played Mervo the last game of the season and lost. And lost. So Mervo's always had a tremendous program.
Yeah. Shout out to definitely Coach Nixon doing a great job.
Yeah.
And we have Dunbar. We got Dunbar looking to get their 13th state championship. Excited about that. What was your thoughts?
Speak sports. Dunbar has the greatest tradition. And I know the rivalry back in the day with Dunbar and Douglas, but Dunbar has the greatest tradition in Baltimore City.
Yes.
They do. And they do a lot for the kids after graduation. You go to a Dunbar game, you will always see a lot of Dunbar jackets, a lot of Dunbar rings. It's a family.
It's a family.
It's a family.
I mean, being a part of that family.
You were there.
I know that. I mean, being a part of that family and that tradition. Yeah. I mean, I remember, me and Coach Dwayne Green, who was just on, that first state championship.
Yes.
That tide of turning the Dunbar High School, who was a national power in basketball, and turn it into a football school.
Power.
It's football power. I mean, it was awesome. And they continue that. It's like a well-oiled machine.
Exactly.
And they keep rolling. Best of luck to them and getting that 13 and being the #1 program with the most state championships in Maryland state history. We excited.
Yeah.
We excited.
Yeah. And one thing, when you see a Dunbar kid, Dunbar kid will greet you with yes, sir, no, sir.
Yeah.
And I love that sort of thing. It takes you back to the old days.
Yes. And you want to touch on something else. Let's talk about, you want to touch on the athletic trainers.
Yes. I was so happy to see in the Sun paper a week ago that 5 athletic trainers will be hired before the fall season of 2024. Forest Park is going to receive a trainer, Mervo, and the 3 other schools that will have a full-time athletic trainer, which is so desperately needed. So I'm truly happy to see that. And Bob Wade and Dr. Marturi, Joe Marturi, they tried to do this 40 years ago.
Okay.
And it took 40 years for this to come into fruition.
I'm excited about that. I mean, the IE office, Miss Bird and Miss Montgomery, they're doing a great job.
They are.
And that is going to take our athletic program to the next level. You have somebody there every day, all the time, that can help our athletes.
Exactly.
So that's another question, Coach. What do you think about the programs today and how you compare them to the programs back in your coaching time?
Okay. Well, first of all, before I get into the program, the kids of today, the football players of today are bigger, faster, and stronger. I think the athletes of yesterday were just street tough.
Yeah.
We didn't have a lot of weightlifters 40 years ago playing high school football. They were just street tough.
Right.
But the athletes of today are bigger, faster, and stronger. Now, getting into the programs, I would like to see the love that we had for the kids back in the day. I'd like to see more of that. Because as you said earlier, when you break a kid down, you have to give them direction and where to go and lift them back up. You have to lift them up and give them a direction. And once you do that, you're amazed at where these kids, what they can do and where they can take your program. So I think there's love today between coaches and kids as it was yesterday. I think what some of the coaches today need to do is give them more direction. This is what you need to do. Everybody's not an NFL player, as Mr. Green said. Everybody's not an NFL player, so you got to give them more direction. Whether it's the working world, armed forces, anything you can help them with, give them more direction.
That's true. I mean, I watch some games and you hear coaches yelling, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? But that's not giving them direction.
No, exactly.
So you can yell at them, but if you're not yelling at them with substance,
yeah, exactly.
You're tearing them down, but you're not building them back up. Like, tell them what he's doing and then tell them where he's supposed to be or what they're supposed to do. But one thing you hit on is love between coaches.
Yes.
I'm a firm believer that if the coaches get on a better accord, the kids are being a better accord, all of that will just trickle down into the neighborhoods.
It would. It would.
I think that's something that has to happen.
Before every game, we would kneel down and we would pray on the field. And one of the reasons we did that is because we wanted the spectators to see if we respect each other, we respect God, we respect our opponents, then you up in the bleachers should do the same.
The same thing. That's very important. I like that. I highly respect that, Coach.
Thank you.
Hey, Coach, I'm excited. I thank you for coming out. I got to give the real coach some love. Your lovely wife over here.
Yeah, that's the real coach.
That's the real coach.
Yeah. One quick story, Dante. When we played Dunbar, I think it was, what was it, Chris, your senior year, junior year? Yeah, we played on our field. Anyway, we played Chris on our field. I had a real good team.
Okay.
And Chris caused his own father to lose the game. He hit a guy on the kickoff, made him fumble and scored. Then Chris scored later. My own son beat me, so I didn't speak to him for a couple of weeks. I really didn't. Took about 2 weeks to get over it. But after a while, the love came through.
Love came back.
Love came through.
What are your thoughts on the prediction? Dunbar against Calvin. What's your thoughts?
I like Dunbar's speed. I like the toughness they bring on defense. I predict Dunbar will win by 7 or 10 points.
Okay. And we have Mervo and North Point.
Mervo and North Point, I think it's going to be closer. I'm picking Mervo by 2-3 points.
A close game.
Mervo, I like their defense. Their offense, the passing game, I'd like to see a little bit more passes from Mervo.
Okay.
So that's and I've seen both of them this year, so that's my feeling on those two.
I'm gonna agree with that. I personally think that that Dunbar game will be I think it will be a little wider score.
Okay.
I think that Patuxent game was their closest game. That was a great game. I think that would have been a great another state championship game between them two. I think that would be great. And I look at Dunbar winning and definitely Mervo. So, Coach, we thank you for coming out. We thank you for being a part of this podcast, and we look forward to nothing but greatness and more love and great health in your life, Coach.
Well, thank you, Tay.
I love you, Coach.
I love you too, man. And you're doing a fantastic job. And you remember how much I begged you to come back to Baltimore. You remember that?
Well, I'm here. I'm back. I'm back.
You're doing a fantastic job with these young people, and please keep it up.
Yes, sir.
Love you.
Hey, we thank everybody for coming out on this episode of Meet Us in the Trenches. Shout out to our sponsor, Mold Seafood, Brainstream Media, and Tone Drone. We look forward to y'all in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Let's show up in this building. And let's keep doing what we're doing. Much love. Have a good evening.
Our mission focuses on showcasing local and global talent of all ages on and off the field. We will strive to inspire, educate, and bridge the divide through our media collaboration. Our goal is to give student athletes and coaches the platform to let their talents be seen and a platform for the community to let their voices be heard. This is the Union Media Group.